So Biden's now deciding he's going to go after cryptocurrency and NFTs. After all, we can't have the peasants becoming financially stable. For Zang-a-lang and salutations, my lovely little lunatics. It's me, your friendly and psychopath insanity, here with my co-host Bob. Hello. And today on the Insane Report, it seems Biden and the government no longer like the fact that you're just making money out of nowhere and they can't tax it as much as they want to. Also, but they're claiming it's for the green planet and the simple fact that crime and so on and so forth. But anyway, before we jump into that, make sure to like and subscribe for more insane news. Also follow us on Locals, Rumble, Minds, Bastion, Getter, and Gab. So, wait, they're really going to try and go after crypto? Yes, they are, because, I mean, the rest of the world is like, no, crypto, we can't have crypto because crypto allows people to make money and not be tracked and so on and so forth. So evil, when in all honesty, kind of seems like all that money they printed, they're like, we could get more on that crypto. We could get some of that money payback, and we don't even have to do anything. These people are doing it themselves. It's just another form of taxing. But as you can, it's just one of those things. Once again, think of all the people, because no, that was a funny thing with the GME and the AMC stock and all that stuff. Suddenly they're like, no, people can't do that. But at the same time, senators and congressmen and all that, they're fighting to be able to continue to trade despite having insider information. Oh yeah, once again, it's okay when we do it, but how dare you worthless plebeians dare try to rise up and become something of yourself? After all, once again, I just got to bring it back to the medical stuff I'm dealing with. Right now, I'm talking with Humira, the actual people making the drug. And when I told them what my insurance told me, they were like, that's wrong. There's no way this should cost you $17,000. I was like, well, what about the $6,000? And they were like, that shouldn't cost that much either. So it's just, once again, a way for everyone to get their piece of the pie. And I mean, I've made a decent chunk of change from crypto and stock. But at the same time, it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, where are you going to put it on your taxes and so on and so forth? But anywho, let's just jump into it. Oh, bam. From Forbes, President Joe Biden is going after Bitcoin, other cryptocurrencies, and NFTs. President Joe Biden is planning an executive action, once again, not go through laws, but an executive order for federal agencies to regulate cryptocurrency, digital assets, and Bitcoin. Oh, this is just kind of like the ATF trying to deal with 80% lowers and the fact that, like, no, oh my God, ghost guns that are 3D printed. We must regulate them. How? That's the thing. They don't care. They just expect you to just bend over and take it. Like, oh my God, it's against the law. No one's going to care. As he contends, this is a matter of national security. No, it isn't. It's just, once again, because once it's a drug, no, people aren't going out and buying drugs with crypto. And at the same time, if they are, then at the same point in time, there's still more people, more than anything, are buying drugs with actual money. Actual fiat currency and stuff. Continuing on, he's striking at a time when the crypto sector, along with the stock market, is going through a tumultuous time, losing large amounts of value as the Federal Reserve said it will start raising interest rates to cool down inflation. And there it is. Inflation bad. We need money. Let's tax new things. His sights aren't only on Bitcoin. Regulators will look into stable coins and NFTs, so Ethereum and so on and so forth, and NFTs. God, NFTs are garbage. Yeah, no, take all the NFT stuff. No one really cares about that. Yeah, that'll keep video game people. Oh, God, that could be good. Go after NFTs. If you go after NFTs, then video game companies won't have NFTs in their thing, and they won't ruin gaming even more. Continuing on, the Biden administration will also coordinate efforts with regulators and global leaders, because once again, Russia is trying to get rid of it. China's definitely stomped on it. It's hilarious, but it's one of those things where it's not really going to affect most of us because we're just going to keep doing it. Especially because if you use a VPN. Regulatory agencies such as Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, the Commodity Future Trading Commission, blah, 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 will likely coordinate their investigations. They'll also review whether or not tokens should be considered and registered as securities. And that's kind of like, I'm trying to think of what it was, like a hard asset kind of thing. Now, I'm going to continue while reading all this, but basically another thing we're going to go to is over here. So, for now, selling crypto is the same as selling a stock in your E-Trade account. Coinbase will have your tax documents ready for filing if you sold crypto for dollars. The internal revenue source issued, notice 2014, 21, and 2014 that define cryptocurrency as being the same as stocks, bonds, and other assets that qualify for capital gains tax. If your DeFi token is paying yield, apparently you get taxed on that too, in theory, but I will save that for tax specialists. This is basically, so like a stock, if you bought it at if you bought $1,000 worth of Ethereum in August 2021 and sold it in October 2021 for $2,000, you earned $1,000 in short-term capital gains and will be taxed according to your tax bracket. So that's the big thing. My evil genius thinking is that the government says, look, Bitcoin is harmful for the environment and is not U.S. issued tender. Therefore, we can tax it differently. So, yeah. Once again, I don't know how this would work, but it would trigger a massive sell-off in Bitcoin. If you want to kill Bitcoin, get the most powerful nations in the world to tax it to death, which, once again, China said no. Russia's trying to go for no, and then, of course, America's going to try and tax it. They're going to try and get some money out of it. But here's the big thing. I asked industry experts to calm me down. Remember, Bitcoin is for hodlers, or holders, I think. They don't care about the tax anyways, said Kroshkevich, or whatever. People who have a lot of Bitcoin are holding it for a long time. Bringing taxes on Bitcoin isn't going to influence the price. Because once again, that's how I look at Bitcoin. I keep my Bitcoin and Ethereum. The stuff I sold was Shiba and Doge because I didn't have much hope in that. So my Bitcoin and Ethereum has slowly gone up. It's gone down and up, but I've just accumulated more. And it's a big thing of it's not going to go away. Because we're heading for one of the worst crashes I could imagine when all of a sudden all the inflation and all that starts coming in. Because once again, prices for food, gas, and other things are still skyrocketing.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to buy food. Our stuff that would cost us $20, $25 are now costing us $30, $35.
Yeah, just that little, that amount. So, continuing on. Ignis Terranus, head of the communications at Bybit, says investors who hold and do not realize their gains, there is no avenue to tax them. That's once again, originally what the IRS was trying to do is tax you on stuff that the value of what you have. You may have a house. You may get a house and it may be worth $200,000, or like the stock and all. Like you could have $100 million in stock, but as long as you don't pull that stock out, they can't tax you on it because it's not realized gains. But that's the whole thing they're trying to do is they're trying to make it like stock, where the instant you pull out, which a lot of people, once again, whenever you see massive sell-offs for this stuff, it's always a lot of accounts that have like $100 or $200 or $300 in Bitcoin, not people who have tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars worth, because they know they're just going to buy up the dip. That's what I've been doing. I've been buying on the dip because at the same point in time, once again, I believe this is going to be here for a while. But once again, attempts to force this new reality into an outdated framework of top-down control is likely to fail. Yeah, once again, they have no way of doing this. Once again, it's just like with the 3D printers. They have no way of making this work, but they're going to say it, and hopefully it scares you. Because once again, all this stuff with the forced reset triggers by the ATF.
What's a forced reset trigger?
Basically, a little bit of gas is, I think it's, basically the trigger will automatically reset every time you pull it as long as you hold it correctly.
And they want to claim it's a fully automatic rifle.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. They want to claim this as an assault rifle, despite the fact that you still have to pull the trigger every time it fires. But the machine helps reset it quicker. And once again, they've gone after some people, but at the same point in time, like they want to come down here in Texas and try that. Well, Abbott already passed a bunch of 2A laws saying we're not going to help you do any of this because it's not legal. You haven't made laws. The ATF cannot make laws. They can interpret laws, but they cannot make them, which is just like what's going on here. Biden isn't going through Congress to get this done. No, an executive order because we're screwed. We may as well get some more money before everything happens. So I'm going to read this last one, then we're going to move on to the next one. Nonetheless, following game theory, we can expect resistance to Bitcoin across the board, wherever it threatens the status quo, which once again it does. Kathleen said, draconian tax laws and other unreasonable measures to hamper its adoption would fit the picture and are both indicative of Bitcoin's growth as well as the ignorance that surrounds it. Once again, they don't know what it is, but they're thinking, hey, it's cutting into our profits. It's cutting into the amount of money that we can get, so we better stomp it out despite the fact we have no idea how. We're just going to scare the normies and make them go, oh, God, no. But once again, continuing on. And here's the other thing they're going for, the other way to get most of the stupids, the stupid people to hopefully believe in this.
From Yahoo News, just imagine the climate. Bitcoin in crosshairs as Democrats target crypto mining in green energy push. Well, this is pretty funny.
Well, yes, that is one thing. Now, there are plenty of places that don't have good, like here in Texas, doing cryptos decently well. Does decently well just because we have cheap energy. But I know, like, in some third world countries and second world countries, they were having blackouts because people had giant Bitcoin mining and crypto mining farms. But that's not what's happening here. But they're going to use that as an example to get normies to be like, oh, God, the environment. Because once again, CCP19 is pretty much dead in the water at this point. So what's the next big thing?
Oh, God, the environment.
Yep. So continue on. Cryptocurrency leaders were called before Congress to defend Bitcoin as Democrats questioned how the energy-intensive mining was affecting President Joe Biden's green energy agenda. It's not the fact that you aren't doing anything. No, it's the crypto miners. That's the problem.
Yeah, just like with violence and the gamers.
Oh, yes. Remember all those times? Violent video games are causing shootings. Could it be the fact that it's actually drugs and so on and so forth? No, it's video games. So continuing on. The congressional hearing comes after the Environmental Protection Agency blocked 2 requests to use coal-fired power plants to power Bitcoin mining operations. Okay, maybe not that. I don't know. I do not know. Continuing on. Democrat Diana DeGette opened the hearing cleaning up cryptocurrency, the energy impacts of blockchains, by saying there needs to be an overall focus on reducing carbon emissions and increasing green energy. Okay, nuclear power plants. Why? Why aren't we doing that?
Oh, because, they actually do pretty well, but at the same time, people don't want that. They want to do all the other stuff.
Exactly. There's no reason for us not to do it. And people are like, well, what about Chernobyl? That was done because of very, very stupid people. They didn't pay attention. They didn't do it correctly. And then kabooing.
What about the one, what was it, Japan?
Oh, that one was because tsunami. Sorry about that, but nothing really can do. All the huge failures have not been caused because the thing just magically and plus, how long has it been since then? We've gotten so much better. But no. Wind power, solar, hydro. When we have, because here's the big thing right now. If we set up a bunch, if each state had several nuclear power plants, crypto would be no problem at all. People could mine crypto all day long and no one would care. And continuing on. Her colleague, Frank Polanyi, said President's commitment to carbon-free power by 2035 and a net zero economy by 2050 couldn't be met by mining energy-intensive cryptocurrencies with current or old fossil fuel plants. Okay. No, there's no way by 2050 we will be carbon-free. It's not possible. I mean, just look what happened in Texas. Look what happened here. Oh, no. Big freeze. Suddenly, all the wind turbines don't work because they're frozen. Oh, the solar stuff doesn't work because it's frozen. And they shut down power plants because evil coal. If we were to do what Greta Thunberg said and just shut it all off, how many tens, hundreds, probably hundreds, I think tens to hundreds of millions of people would die within months? God, so stupid.
Well, once again, they're going for the stupid people.
Yeah, that is true. Continuing on. Energy required to process transactions on the Bitcoin network could power a home for more than 70 days. So the entire network for a single house, that's not that bad. Last year, there were hundreds of thousands of transactions on this network, and just imagine the climate implications. No one cares. No one cares. It's not, in the end, all of this. You want to come after us in Bitcoin, but not go after China and India and all that stuff? No. Once again, because they don't care about over there. They care about having control and telling you can't do it. Brian Books, the current CEO of Bear Fury and former chief legal officer of Coinbase, told the hearing that cryptocurrency mining used 58% of sustainable source power compared to 31% for the U.S. economy as a whole. Ha! What is clear is that 188 terawatt hours used by Bitcoin last year out of about 155,000 terawatt hours consumed globally for all uses was sourced more sustainably than other uses on average. Bitcoin miners seek low energy cost and the lowest cost always comes from excess capacity, which can include wind, solar, and energy lost in distribution process. So, they're going after this. It's not about the climate. It's not about national security. It's about all the people that made a ton of money off this. And it's the fact that Bitcoin is causing, like, people aren't buying stocks. No, so many people I know aren't buying stocks. They're buying Bitcoin. Because here's the big thing. If you're buying stocks at this point in time, you're either buying stocks that may have a chance of going crazy, or you're just putting in money and waiting for it eventually to hit just over the time of your life. But at the same point in time, the amount of people I know who have made boatloads of money off Bitcoin and Ethereum and Shiba and Doge. They're like, why would I pay for stocks when this could happen? Throw $10 in, and maybe down the line it's worth $100. Maybe in like a year or 2 years. It's all about them having control because, once again, they're allowed to trade stocks while knowing exactly what's going to happen. You can't because it's evil. They're allowed. Once again, Wells Fargo is talking about doing Bitcoin. So many companies are talking about doing Bitcoin. And yet now they're like, we believe it should be regulated because they realize they're losing power. They have nothing. And they're like, okay, well, we might as well do everything we can. And not through Congress, but through executive action. So anyway, this is just like with the ghost guns. It's not going to ever work. They can try all they want, but it's never going to actually work without literally us becoming Canada or Austria, Australia, or Germany, or China. But hey, we have way too many guns for that. Anyway, that'll be the end of this little video. If you like this video, then check the like button and subscribe for more.
Insanity.
And I will see you all later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.